StarCraft 2 just had a magical world finals unlike any before. The winner wasn't a previous champion, a heavy favorite, a new player showing promise, or anything like that. It was a complete dark horse named Oliveira. He hails from China, a region that has never finished top 8 at a global finals. The servers for his country even recently shut down entirely due to Blizzard pulling all of their games out of China. In the early stages of the tournament, he barely advanced in the group stages after losing more games than he won. There is not a single soul on this planet that foresaw this miraculous run, including Oliveira himself. Despite this young Chinese Terran player went to the playoffs and dismantled his opponents one by one, starting with the best non-Korean Terran.
Before his ticket into the quarterfinals, SCVs are pulled again from Hero Marie, but GG, the fist pumps are out, and Oliveira is a quarterfinalist in the World Championship.
Then one of the best Zerg players in the world.
Aren't even able to take care of tanks that are relatively undefended. That is going to be it. Oliveira is going to move on in IEM Katowice.
Then the best Protoss player in the world.
Get ready for one of the most emotional pop-offs you've ever seen of a StarCraft 2 player, because Oliveira has been feeling it throughout this tournament, but this is so big for this man. I cannot believe what we just saw, but Oliveira makes it into the grand finals of the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice.
And he capped it off by defeating the highest ranked player in the world.
What's going on here? But Oliveira takes it! Oliveira is the world champion!
And his style was not gimmicky or lucky, he simply outplayed them. But it wasn't his surprise victory that captivated people. It was how his heartfelt victory speech tied the entire story together.
我上次0杠6输的时候，我觉得心理争霸对我来说已经结束了。
After unexpectedly becoming the best player in the world, Oliveira bared his heart to everyone listening and shared how he really felt and some deep emotions about how he got there. But let's go over his whole interview and really talk about what I believe it meant and the significance his message holds.
You said this felt like a dream. Well, you are not waking up, because I have to tell you something. You are the Intel Extreme Masters World Champion.
I mean, like many people sometimes tell me like, you should finish StarCraft 2, you should retire, and maybe, like you should give up. But look at me now.
It's telling that the first thing that comes to his mind is the vindication that he didn't listen to those that doubted him. The challenge that he thinks of is not just the incredible players he had to beat, but to stay strong in the face of a world that would see you pushed down. I don't think this is an uncommon sentiment for people who find success, as they feel validation in their choices. But it emphasizes that it wasn't just a struggle to improve. It was a struggle to justify the decision to both others and himself. This struggle was on the forefront of his mind.
Truly such an inspiration. You have fought so hard. This is the best run that we have ever seen. You were 2 and 3 in the group stage. You said it yourself that you did not expect to even make it out of groups. And then you went on to make the playoffs for the very first time. You had to take down Raynor, and then you had to take down Hero, and now you just took down a 5-time GSL champion to become the world champion. What does this mean for you?
I mean, I just want to tell us, like, you don't need GSL champion, you don't need like ESL champion. I think I'm just a like normal man, and yeah, I mean, I just practice very hard this time. Like every day, 12 hours, 15 hours, so much time. And you know, like I play StarCraft 2 Pro Gamer is already 8 years, right? I think so. And I never thought I can be a world champion. And even now, I'm afraid maybe tomorrow I wake up, it's like a dream, and
I think this is where Oliveira's answer starts to deviate from where many others would normally go. It's not rare for someone to feel like they worked hard. His response is that he's a normal man who had to work hard, really hard, painstakingly hard for almost a decade. It makes sense. This is the payoff for all of his hard work, and he attributes that success to his hard work rather than any talent. But I think there's something unique in the way he starts his answer by not saying, I don't need a GSL championship or I don't need an ESL championship. Instead, he says, you don't need them. Maybe it's overreading into the phrasing of someone who clearly was speaking a language that was foreign to them, but I earnestly believe that he was asked what this meant to him, and his response was he wanted to shout to everyone that was listening to him that you, the person listening, can become a world champion with hard work. He passionately felt that he could stand at the summit and yell to others what he did was not the result of talent or luck. If you work hard, you really can reach for the stars. You can reach for them.
How did you prepare against Mauro, especially considering you practice against him so much? Is there something specific you plan for every map?
Like, I mean, when start quarterfinal, I just tell myself, it doesn't matter. Like, you're world champion or maybe not world champion. I just love StarCraft 2, and I enjoy this game. And yeah, I'm enjoying at stage, play StarCraft 2. I love esport, and thank you everyone to coming for watch. And like, who knows, I can be a world champion. I mean, I don't know how to say. I'm so happy.
I found it interesting that when he was asked about the strategy of how he approached his opponents, his answer is actually, well, it's not really answering the question how you would expect. He doesn't talk about build orders or strategy. Instead, he re-emphasizes that titles don't matter. He played with a love for the game, which I think ties very closely together with being able to work so hard at it. I think this is also an interesting insight into the mentality shift he may have had from the group stage games where he struggled to win to his playoff matches where he outplayed many of the best players in the world. Being able to just enjoy himself unlocked the best side of him. After that, he's given an open-ended chance to say what he wants and speak from the heart. This is what he chose to say, and I've added a rough translation from the Reddit user Seawees when he stopped speaking English.
Time, I want to give you one last opportunity to say anything you want to your family, your friends, your fans watching online, the fans here in Poland, anything you want to say.
So I want to thank you for everyone. Like, you guys show me the StarCraft 2 is not that game. I mean, there's so many people to watch, and I completed my dream. I mean, even I still feel not truth. But I want to see my family and use English and use Chinese, and I want to use English first. I want to thank my dad. Like last time, I lose ESL Atlanta, like 0-3, like 0-6, like no one win, like no one game win. And my father just tell me, don't give up. Like, you are always the best player in my heart. And yeah. And I want to see you guys. Thank you so much for watching. My English is not very well, but thank you so much. And I want to say some Chinese to my Chinese fans. Because now so many Chinese people are still watching. It's already 5 a.m. I think so. 我想对现在还在看直播的观众朋友们说，其实没有什么事情是不可能的。我都拿到世界冠军了，真的没有什么事情不可能的。我觉得我等到这个世界冠军太久了。去年真的很难。我上次0杠6输的时候，我觉得星际争霸对我来说已经结束了。但是从上一次，我告诉我自己，我可以再多练习，如果有一天真的拿到世界冠军了，或许可以证明给大家。And I want to say English to to everyone, like, even you still are normal people, you still can be world champion, and no one trusts you.
Katowice, give it up one last time for your Intel Extreme Masters World Champion. He is Oliveira.
As the crowd started to chant his name, the idea started cementing in a lot of our hearts. This wasn't just the tale of a dark horse who unexpectedly became world champion out of nowhere. This was the story of a young man who didn't just want to prove that hard work can make a normal man the best player in the world. He wanted to become a symbol of it. He had a moment to shine, and when the spotlight came down on him, his immediate and unfiltered reaction was to scream, "If I can reach my dream, so can you." Progress doesn't always come gradually. He was on the verge of retiring one event before he became the world champion. Even during this very event, he almost rescheduled his flight home to leave early, just because he almost stopped believing in himself. It won't come easy, and there are a lot of people who will doubt your dream and won't believe in you, but I think regardless of what your dream is, there's a young Chinese StarCraft 2 player who believes that you are capable of achieving it, and that he is now living proof of that. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. Maybe it's a naive way of thinking with survivorship bias. But at the end of the day, I don't think that matters, because regardless of the doubters, I believe in Oliveira's message. And that is what Oliveira means to me. Thank you so much for watching, and thanks Oliveira for inspiring me and so many others. And a final thank you to the people who support me on Patreon that make this kind of content possible, including Codiferous87, Jacob G, Swefimo, Gauntlet Wizard, and Eric the Man 10. Until next time.